Good evening, everybody. This is Fire Alarm Raymond here, and today in this tutorial video I'm going to show you how to wire up and power up and program and hook up all the devices for fire alarm beginners today. So anyways, guys, the panel that you're looking at here is a Notifier SFP-10UD 10 zone 4 NACS circuit 2 auxiliary 3 relay fire alarm control panel. This is a notifier panel. It takes a standard notifier key to open the door. So anyways, let's go ahead and I'm going to show you the key. It takes a standard notifier key. So let's go ahead and open the front door. And I'm going to show you how to wire it up and power it and hook up all the devices and program them in. And it's super easy to do. So first, we're going to go ahead and open the front door. So we insert our key, turn it, and then we open the front door. And as you can see, we got your main circuit board, which is with your controller in the center with the interface. We have your CPU, we got your buttons, the control pad and stuff like that, and we got you got NAC 1, NAC 2, Zone 1 to Zone 5, and Zone 6 to Zone 10. And you got NAC 3 and NAC 4. And you have your auxiliary output, which is resettable power and non-resettable power. This is where you hook up your annunciator. You got your 3 relays if you want to program. You got 3 relays that are programmable. If you want to program it for a monitor or alarm relay or hook it up to a dialer or something like that. I'm not really sure about a dialer, but so anyways, this is basically your whole circuit board. Here is your main power where you apply your power. These 3 terminals. The top one is neutral, the middle one is ground, and the bottom one is hot. So leg 1 is neutral and leg 2 is hot and the middle one is ground. So you got acknowledge, silence, reset, and drill, and enter, and up and down, side to side arrows, and your numbers on the keypad. You got AC power, which is green, fire alarm, which is red, supervisory, alarm silence, trouble is yellow. So what the fire alarm condition means is when this pole station or smoke detector gets activated, it means somebody pulled the fire alarm when there's an emergency. And basically what supervisory means is somebody shut off the water to the sprinkler system, like somebody closes a valve. Or if you have an alarm at a duct detector, that will give you a supervisory too, if you have an alarm at a duct detector. When you have a trouble, it means there's a problem on the circuit. And on the screen, it would tell you where the problem is. So let's go ahead and zoom out, and we're going to go ahead and show you the 3 devices that we're going to be wiring up to start out with. So anyways, let's show the 3 devices. And as for the 3 devices that we're going to be using for this hookup demonstration is, so the 3 devices that you see right here. Over here we have your Firelight BG12 pole station. That's the pole station we're going to be using. And we have a system sensor i3 smoke detector, which is 2-wire, which works great for this panel, and we have your notification appliances, which is the System Sensor Specter Alert Classic, which is my favorite system sensor alarm. Some people have used Advances and stuff like that, Specter Alert Advances or any other notification appliances, but in this video I'm going to be using a Specter Alert Classic because I love Specter Alert Classics a lot. And the thing is, this panel is compatible with 2-wire i3 smoke detectors and any other 2-wire smoke detectors. Some panels are not compatible with certain smoke detectors. So this panel does take Class B, just to let you guys know, which means the device does not loop back to the panel. You can hook up like 6 or 8 devices and have an N-line resistor and stuff like that. And also, and the other thing that people may be concerned about the voltage output for this panel, the voltage output for this panel, some people say some panels do put out FWR, but this panel does not put out FWR. This panel does not, because this is a notifier panel and it's a 10-zone panel, so this panel outputs filtered DCs. What that means is filtered DC is a voltage that you can use pretty much anything. So according to this panel does output filtered DC, which means the horn voltage on the NACS are being filtered into a clean, steady current. So you can use any alarm you want on this panel, including simplex devices like a simplex True Alert, for an example. And don't worry, this panel outputs filtered DC, so when you use a True Alert, it'll sound just fine and sound very, very clean. So that's what you want. Okay, let's get to the main power supply. The power supply that you want to use is an extension cord. You can use a 3-prong extension cord or a 2-prong extension cord, but I would highly recommend this extension cord right here that has 3 prongs. It has the neutral, hot, and ground. And what you can do with the cable is you could strip it and it will expose these 3 wires right here. So you have your white for the neutral, black for the hot, and green for the ground, which is the earth wire. So, excuse me, had a burp. So anyways, so I highly recommend a grounded power cable because you want your system to be safely grounded. So anyways, let's go ahead and open the door and I'll show you where the cable goes. Open this back up. As you can see, it says warning, high voltage. Those 3 terminals right there, that's where your main power supply goes. Right there. That is where your main power supply goes. So we're going to go ahead and hook that up right now. We're going to take my screwdriver and we're going to go ahead and insert the cable through the knockout and hook it into the terminals on the main power supply board. So let's get this hooked up. And then the power will be ready to go. So let's insert your wires through this knockout. Oh, this thing came off. There we go. And yes, the power is unhooked, so that way I don't get shocked. You see it's not even live, I can touch it. But be careful, guys, if you're working around live wires, I highly recommend not do that. And also one more thing, it's better to have solid wiring instead of stranded. So first thing we're going to do is insert the neutral first, which is this top terminal right here. So we're going to go ahead and insert it. I know my hand is in the way, but what are you going to do? Okay, we got to make sure that thing is screwed down nice and tight. So that's where your neutral goes. And now we're going to insert the line, which is the hot wire. Alright, make sure you twist that a little bit so it'll fit right into the terminal. Okay, last line to hook up is the ground wire, which is the green earth wire. The green earth wire goes into the middle, so we're going to go ahead and unscrew this. Whoops. There we go. We're going to go ahead and screw it down and tighten it. And you always got to torque your connections to make sure they're tight, so nothing comes loose and shorts anything out or starts smoking. And now, the next thing we're going to do is, and this is all you have to do, is hook up the power. Just like that. And now we close this, so it also prevents you from getting shocked. Stuff like that. And there you go. Now we are ready to hook up our devices. All three of our devices that we showed you earlier in the video, we're ready to hook them up. So here we go. And now we are ready to hook up our devices. So the first thing I want to show you is the type of cable that I like to use is fire alarm cable right here. As you can see, you could strip it. It's 2 wires and 1 shielding, and it's solid wiring, not stranded. So it's better to use this wire instead of stranded wiring. So we are going to go ahead and start by hooking up the pull station. So I'm going to go ahead and zoom in on the terminals so you can see what I'm doing. Down first because I need 2 hands to aim the camera. So we're gonna hook the pull station on zone 1. See, the camera's still recording. Good, yes. And the first thing you want to do is make sure you have plenty of knockout, so you have plenty of room. Excuse me. And what you want to do, you could leave the resistor here if you want, but I would highly recommend remove the resistor. Out of the first zone. Whoops. Man, these are screwed down really tight. Okay. Now I've got the resistor out. I can plug this back in. And yes, these do unhook. And the first thing you want to do is follow the instructions on the panel door. So we're going to wire this into zone 1. Stick our fire alarm cable in here. And then we tighten it down. And now we take our other end of the wire and connect it to the back of the pull station. So the pull station right here has 2 terminals. You got the black and the red. So we're going to insert them like this. So we're going to put red to red and black to black. Pretty much the same as positive and negative. So we're going to go ahead and hook that up. I don't know if you could see it, but and then you put your resistor in there. And then you tighten it down. And now the pull station is hooked up. And next, we're going to put this right there. Now we're going to hook up the smoke detector next. And now you want to take another length of fire alarm cable. Now we're going to hook up the smoke detector right here. Sorry, the camera's really close. I'm going to zoom out a little so you can see. And now we're gonna unscrew the terminals, take the resistor out. But again, you can leave the resistor here if you want, but I highly recommend you have the resistor on the smoke detector. So we're going to go ahead and insert our cable, fire alarm cable, through this knockout right here. So we're going to put that into zone 1. And then we tighten it down. And then you take, and the other thing is with the smoke detector, you take the head off the base. And then where did I put my resistor? Here it is. And the next step is you insert the red wire into the second terminal. That's what you want to do, but bend these wires a little bit so you can insert them into the terminals real easily. So the two wires go, the red wire goes into the second terminal and the black wire goes into the third terminal, and then you put your resistor here. And then we tighten it down. But we are not quite done yet with the smoke detector. We are not quite done yet. So it should look like this. We need to wire the other end of the smoke detector to one of these relays right here. So I'm going to go get an extra set of fire alarm cable, and we're going to, and I'll show you which ones insert into the relay. Okay, I got some more fire alarm cable. And now For the relay, we insert the red into the RA terminal, and we insert the black into the RA minus, which is the relay. So we're going to go ahead and insert these two wires the same as usual. But first we got to bend these wires so you can insert them into the wire terminals real easily, into the base. And it should look like this. As you can see, you got 2 wires for the zone and 2 wires for the relay. Now, we have to insert the other end of the wires into the relays right here. So here we go. The red wire is going to go into the normally open, which is the first terminal, on this 3-terminal relay. And then we tighten it down. Okay, I'm having a little bit of trouble, but it should be able to tighten up, hopefully. There we go. And then, last but not least for the smoke detector, we put the head on. And then the wiring for the smoke detector is complete. And last thing we're going to do before we power up this panel is we're going to hook up notification appliances. So we're going to grab some extra fire alarm cable. And we're going to go ahead, we're going to be using the knockout closest to the NAC. So we're going to go ahead and remove this resistor on NAC 4, so that's the NAC we're going to be using. What are you doing?
Trying to see if your camera's even on. It is on.
Is it recording?
Yep, says REC.
Sorry guys, I had to cut the video short because I made a mistake. I accidentally hooked the notification appliance on the zone, so I had to cut that out. But you should see, when I zoom in, I have the notification appliance on NAC 4 right there. See the orange? And it's going up to the Specter alert, and the Specter alert already has its resistor. So anyways, we are ready to power. here we go. Let's go ahead and plug in our main power supply, and here we go. That looks promising. Let's go ahead and zoom the camera in. And before we hook up our batteries, always to be sure, you have to plug in main power before you hook up your batteries. So the only trouble that should be there is the battery trouble, which is what we want. So we are at one trouble, which is the battery trouble. We are perfect. And now we go ahead and plug in our 7 amp hour batteries. So we're going to go ahead, put them right here, side by side, and then we insert our jumper cable right here, so it wires the batteries in a series. Just like that. And now, red goes to red, black goes to black. Okay. As you can see, the system is reading normal, which is good. And I know you can't see the AC power light very well because it's in the lamp, but I can go ahead and turn the lamp off so you can see it. As you can see, the green AC power light is on, but that should give you guys enough light to see. And now, I want to program this thing. So the first thing you want to do before you program this panel is, let me get it where I need it to be. So the first thing you want to do before you program this panel is you go to menu, and then you hit number 2 for programming. So you hit 2, and your passcode is 00000, and I want to select NACS, which is number 2. So you got NACS, you got NAC 1, NAC 2, NAC 3, NAC 4. I want to select NAC 4, so I'm going to push number 4. And 2, you got coding options. So we're going to scroll down. I want to program the Specter alert for system sensor sync. So I'm going to hit 1 for system sensor. And then we go down, hit 1 for silence, and you hit 3 for mute sync because I want the strobe to keep flashing once the system is silenced. And then, excuse me, you can always hit exit or hit the reset button to save the programming. And then boom. That's how you program your panel. Okay, we are fully ready to go. System is all normal. Now let's zoom out. And now we're going to test 2 of the zones to make sure the system is working properly. But first, first, since the Specter Alert Classic is loud, I'm gonna put on some hearing protection. Okay, we are ready for testing. And also one more thing, you gotta make sure that your smoke detector is flashing, and I could see it flashing from here, but let me zoom in so you can see it. There it goes. I don't know if you could see it on the camera, but it is flashing, to be honest with you. Okay, we are fully ready to go. Now, let's test the system. Here we go. In 3, 2, 1. Acknowledge and silence. As you can see, it's doing audible silence, which means the strobe stays flashing until the system is fully reset. And I cannot fully reset the system until you reset the pull station. So let's go ahead, pull our key out of the door, and now insert our firelight key in. Okay, as you can see, the strobe is still flashing, which it's supposed to. That's how system sensor sync works on these things. Okay, since the pull station resets, so it's reset, so let's go ahead and hit panel reset. Okay, everything's good. And now, the next thing we're going to do is test the smoke detector to make sure that's working. So we're going to hit the test switch on the smoke detector, and then we'll be finished. So, here we go. Let's see if it works. 3, 2, 1. There we go. Okay, Zone 2 is working, the smoke detector is working, everything seems to be working just fine. So, and by the way guys, when you're using test spray on the smoke detector, or something like that, you have to blow the smoke out of the smoke detector, and also or even turn off or even unscrew the head and blow the smoke out like that. But the smoke detector will stay activated until you cut their power. But so there you guys go. Okay, I want to reset the system. Alright, there you guys go. And this completes the installation of... Whoops. The thing fell off. Don't worry, it's supposed to come off because this panel does have that thing. Now, where did I put my keys? Here they are. Yeah, the front interface protector does come off, guys. It falls off all the time, but that's okay though. So there you go. This completes the installation. So anyways, guys, if you ever want to purchase a fire alarm panel for beginners, I highly recommend the Notifier SFP-10UD. So anyways, if you guys like this video, please consider subscribing and give this video a thumbs up if you found this video helpful in this tutorial, and I'll greatly appreciate it. Thank you very much for watching, and take care, guys. Peace out.